Sponsor Dlamini here. Yes, of course, we are back with another session. So, guys, it's me, your host, Dlamini of Stocks for Hope. So, guys, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment on our YouTube channel, and also click the green button so that when you upload the next video, you will know and get first-hand information. So today, guys, and also remember that these videos are mainly for educational purposes and not investment or trading advice. So it's important that people, they do not trade money they cannot afford to lose. So today, guys, we are going to talk about the relationship between the euro, the British pound, and the US dollar. So mainly we could say that the relationship between euro dollar, GBP USD, and euro GBP, because like these three currencies, they actually form these three currency pairs. So remember, guys, to like, share, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel there. So let us continue there. So the relationship between these three pairs. So let us go back in time just a little bit now. So before money was invented, people bartered for goods and services. It wasn't until about 5,000 years ago that the Mesopotamian people created the shekel, which is considered the first known form of currency, which were gold and silver coins. They date back around about the year 650 to the year 600 BC, when stamped coins were used to pay armies. So these were the first coins that the Mesopotamian people first founded. That's the people they actually exchanged and traded when they wanted goods from one another. So these coins were usually silver coins or gold coins. So it was depending on which type of a coin that's valued more at the time. So if we move fast forward from that time there, the Bank of England was founded as a private bank in 1694. So there's a bit of back there in the days, about 400 years ago, and also the first United States dollar notes were published as demand notes to fund the Civil War in 1861. So the first United dollar notes after the colonial currency was removed. The United States, after it was formed in 1776, rather, after it was formed in 1776, the first US dollar was formed to fund the Civil War. So I'm just doing a bit of history of where money started, and then how the British pound started as well, and also how the United States dollar started. So if we move again decades from those 1861 where the dollar started, we move to where the euro was actually formed, and it was actually officially formed. It was January 1st, 1999. So those three currencies, they were formed decades and decades, even centuries apart. But now, in nowadays, they form a very, very huge part in our lives, and also they form a very, very huge part in the trading community. So in recent time, Euro USD is the most traded currency pair globally, because according to the survey, that euro dollar is the most traded currency pair on the market in the currency world, with the euro transaction making about 24% of the daily forex trades. So the popularity of the euro USD pair comes from the fact that it represents two of the world's biggest economies, which is the European single market, and also which is the United States right there. So if we move forward again in time, we could see that the most traded currency pair, as it is said here, is that euro dollar. It is the most traded currency pair, as we can see here, by volume and by size. There it is 28%. Euro dollar it is traded, and then USD JPY is 13%, and GBP USD it is there at 11%. So if we go to GBP USD, we see that the volume there of the traded it is the third traded currency pair there, which is 11%. But rather Euro GBP, it is not that much of a traded currency pair, but rather it forms a huge part of the global currency transaction, because as well these are the most two large economies as well in the world. So the fact that I did this video is that I wanted to outline that when we come to euro dollar, when you go to the charts, usually euro USD moves in line or together with GBP USD. They move almost together in the same direction, but rather Euro GBP tends to move in the opposite direction, opposed to both those other pairs, GBP USD and Euro USD, which they move in the same direction. So So Euro GBP move in the opposite direction. So if we can actually look at the charts here, Euro USD here, you can see that euro dollar is moving down, and also we can see if you could go to GBP USD charts, if you could just look at a GBP USD charts, you can see that the trend is moving down as the euro dollar chart there. But if we look at euro GBP, we could see that euro GBP is actually moving in the opposite direction as opposed to these two pairs are going. So you see euro GBP is actually moving in the opposite direction as opposed to these other two pairs. So the other thing that I wanted to outline here on these pairs, number one, when we come to euro dollar, euro USD moves an average of about 55 to 70 pips in a single day, which is just a modest average true range of or a pip value, average daily range of a currency pair, which is modestness. So any trader who is a beginner, they could just start trading with euro USD, because like it's mostly volatile and it's popular, and it's also easy to find information based on euro USD. You can just go to Google and type euro USD, you'll find information about it. And your GBP USD, on the other hand, it moves faster. So its average daily true range, GBP USD can move as high as 100 pips in a single day, even as high as 157 pips in a single day. So if I could just make a simple example here there on GBP USD, a recent example that happened here in a few days ago. So you could just see here that on this day here, GBP USD moved 189 pips in a single day, right here. So it moved, it was minus 1.6% there in a single day. But if we can look at now Euro GBP, So Euro GBP, its average daily pip value, or its average daily pip move, it can move roughly about 35 pips in a single day, and then it's done. But the highest pip value it could go in a single day, it can go maybe even as high as 60 to 70 pips in a single day. So Euro GBP moves much more slower compared to the other two pairs, the Euro dollar and the cable, which is GBP USD. So Euro GBP, I consider it's a pair which a person who's also a beginner, they could start trading with this pair, because they could just test their EA, which is good. And also it is also good for scalping. If you are scalping, you can trade Euro GBP, because like you only need 20 pips. You can just enter and then just wait for those 20 pips, and then you get out of the market. And also it is extremely good for swing trading as well, because it is easy to find entries on Euro GBP, because like you see, there's an entry right here, and then you just wait for the market and ride it along and to the next level. And also these two pairs right here, which is Euro dollar and GBP USD, they are extremely volatile when it comes to news. When we're talking about news, we are talking about those inflation numbers, we are talking about the jobs numbers, we are talking about we already mentioned inflation, already mentioned jobs numbers. We like it is even geopolitics. These two pairs are very much sensitive when it comes to those things, economic data. But when it comes to Euro GBP is a little bit immune to dollar news, if I could say. It's a little bit immune to news that are happening happening around the US dollar. So Euro GBP, I consider this pair a much more powerful pair to compare to those two pairs, because as well the pip value as well for GBP USD and Euro dollar is 10, but it's 10 per point. But when it comes to Euro GBP, it has a much more higher pip value of 10.8 there. So you could easily make more profits with a Euro GBP, even if it moved a short little pips, like maybe it moved like 13 pips, you could make more money compared to those other currency pairs. So that is just the relationship, guys, of these three pairs which they have, and each individual or each trader could just take advantage of these pairs in their own form. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe, like and share, and comment on other videos that we post. And also remember that these videos are mainly for educational purposes, not trading or investment advice. So I'll thank you. I'll definitely see you on the next video.